This bald cypress tree was planted over 200 years ago and is said to be the oldest living tree in the entire city. It sits right in the middle of George Rogers Clark Park in Louisville, Kentucky. And to illustrate how old that really is, here's an old photo of that same tree taken way back in 1890, standing fully grown and mature even 135 years ago. And while we have it pulled up, this little building right here to the left was actually an old spring house, one supplying the family that owned this land before it became a park, with fresh water flowing from a natural spring in the ground. And although that spring house was torn down and that natural spring filled in with dirt over 100 years ago, you can still see the silhouette of where it once sat in the side of the hill today, with the back wall of the house actually being built into this hill to immediately capture the cool water of the spring as it flowed out. But here's the wildest part. This bald cypress tree and old spring house were once at the heart of a 250-acre plantation called Mulberry Hill that sat on this site 100 years before it became a park. And that plantation was actually owned by the parents of George Rogers Clark, the guy who co-founded the city of Louisville back in 1778 and who George Rogers Clark Park is obviously named after. And the house that the Clarks lived in was actually right up the hill from the spring house, which you can also see in that old photo off in the distance, with this structure on the left being the main house and the structure on the right being the servants' quarters. And this is the exact site that those structures sat at the top of the hill, now having been replaced by a playground and a bathroom building that was built out by the park. It's wild to think that one of the city's oldest living trees is the last witness to a completely different world that once stood here. Leaning quietly above that spring, that tree must have overheard 100 years of conversations as the inhabitants of that plantation came down to fill their water jugs day after day after day. From a frontier plantation to a quiet neighborhood park, this grassy little hill has truly seen it all.